resurrect this beast. All right, y'all, here is the 1986 XR250R that we are going to slowly rebuild. It's pretty much a rolling chassis. The front brakes work great. The rear bearings and brake is questionable, and the engine parts, as you'll see in the next clip or whatever, are all apart. And then the carburetor's been sitting here exposed to the elements, so that's probably not doing too good. But we're gonna get it unloaded and get it kind of assessed, and then man, we're excited. What do you think, Chase? Looking forward to it?
Yeah.
All right, y'all, got the XR250 on the rolling table. Got all the parts out. Here it is in all its glory. This seat is actually not the right seat. It's for a CR. Apparently, it doesn't fit. Yeah, it's just totally the wrong seat. That's fine. Also, what's totally missing is the drive chain and then the exhaust. But everything else, guys, is pretty much here. It looks like the crankcase, the engine. This is concerning here. Some of the copper is not there on those two windings, but obviously this doesn't look too good. But we got all kinds of, and that's our little transmission gear set. This haven't opened yet, but it's spare parts, and this is actually a brand new piston. So it's freaking awesome. It came with a brand new piston. So I'm thinking they took this thing apart because of the famous, you know, just rings wearing out, blow by, etc. But the front brakes are intact. The rear brakes are definitely rusted up. As you see, there's a new rear tire there, so we're excited about that. Also, what I noticed as well is the carburetor's been sitting out, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to rehabilitate this. Sure I will, but that'll be it's currently froze. The throttle valve thing is totally frozen shut right now, so. Well, it looks like, I don't know if this is a modification here, but that's kind of cool. The suspension feels great. All the wiring is intact, so there it is, y'all. The XR250 is coming together, and then all this poor little three-wheeler needs is a new fuel tank, and this thing will be hot to trot. So there you are. Got our Honda collection growing with the little XL right here. This thing needs a rebuild. Needs to be gone through, but it just keeps chugging along. So there's the vet waiting for its turn. So boat, yep. And then currently what I'm working on is this Xterra, getting it running for a friend from church. So there you have it, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm very excited about this. All right, y'all, here we are. We got the XR bike itself. You saw in the last video, or even in this video, the past scene or whatever. I had it up on the table here, and just everything was piling up. Obviously, the rebuilding the engine transmission is the most important thing to get done, so that's what I'm focused on. Then I will make my way to the carburetor, obviously get a seat that is the correct seat, hopefully. Probably should start looking for that now. And then the exhaust is missing, and the drive chain is missing, and then I've got a really good, I've got a really good dent in the wheel there, which we'll have to figure out. And then of course we got the new rubber, which will mount on there anyway, so freaking awesome. Great shape. I got the clutch cable, the brake pedal, and the two chain guides. I just got all this zipped together and off of the table because that's all, you know, chassis stuff. So here it is, man. Look at this thing. I just basically put all the big pieces together. The clutch pack goes in here. We got the Kickstarter. Obviously got the jug, the crank, and all the rod are in there. And then obviously this is supposed to be in here. I just slid that in there afterwards. We got our alternator, generator, what have you. And of course top end, and then what we have is bolts associated with one of the covers, because those were in the actual cover. Transmission stuff, engine stuff. You got your camshaft chain, you know, timing, whatever, however that works. This is definitely for the chain. And then I'm not sure where the other side of that goes. Is it? No. Who knows? So I gotta figure out this whole situation. But engine, you know, external stuff. I'm not sure what that is. I'll of course be finding out. It might be a little oil pump, maybe. That's what it looks like. And then obviously drive chain exit out of the trans, and then all of our mounting. And then these I think are extra bolts that they just included. And then all this stuff, some of this might be used, but I believe a lot of this too is spare parts. A longer shifter. I'll end up using this cylinder cover because this is fixed. You saw the other one is broken. But all these, all the rocker arms or whatever are, especially this one, you see that? It's like got burnt up somehow. But then more of the just extras. So obviously I'll be able to pull from this pile, pull from this pile. The next thing I'm gonna do is get a really good guide on how to rebuild this from the bottom up and just do each part one part at a time. I'll obviously order a big gasket seal kit, but I'm sure there'll be times where I'll have to order a certain part, you know, once I get to it. I'm not 100% familiar with this setup. The camshaft here, if I get to focus. Camshaft looks fairly decent. I don't see a bunch of really low spots there, so that's awesome. I'll of course be buffing everything out. Obviously replacing what's necessary. This bearing feels like crap. I don't know if I'll get a bearing kit for it or not, or just replace the bearings that doesn't feel too bad. Anyway, obviously it all needs to be cleaned. Here's a spark plug so I can tell how it was running when it was last ran, but I think a lot of this is probably penetrant oil, stuff like that. Just engine oil because everything's been in a bucket. So there you have it, folks. We're gonna get her done. We're getting started. And then what do we have here? The glass par Lido. Glass par is the manufacturer. The boat's name is Lido. And what I'm gonna do here is just vacuum it out. I need to rebuild the shifter. The throttle linkage and shifter, I'm gonna rebuild that, get that together. I took it apart before last winter. It's September 2020 right now. And then eventually, I'll probably just leave this in here until I need to pull it out. But I need to diagnose the ignition system on this thing. And hopefully this thing will be ready for the water next summer. So we're excited about that. But just a little garage update. We got the 3-wheeler nestled in there, the little XL, and our newest member of the fleet, which is gonna be a certified ripper once we get it done, the old XR250. So there you have it. One step at a time. I have to admit, I was pretty overwhelmed at first once I saw everything and kind of noticed. Because I thought there was going to be exhaust. I thought the seat was going to fit. The carburetor, that's a given. It was left out. But in the chain, he told me about that, which is fine. But, you know, right now we've got our finances are pointed in a different direction. Obviously, you can see we've got enough projects, including the Corvette that still needs a clutch. So everything has to take its turn. But we'll get it together. I'm hoping within the next year this thing will be running, and I'll be so fired up when it does. So there you have it, y'all. We're gonna continue on in the whole. This is gonna be a long series of Project XR250R.